Many of us at some point in time have had a computer start acting very strange. There are a lot of threats out there and many came in the form of viruses. Computer viruses got their name because they act like viruses and replicate. They infect lots of files on a computer and can be spread to other computer by doing things like sending files to someone else or using an infected USB drive on another computer. Then you have worms, adware, trojans and rootkits which are much hard to detect and can give attackers control of your computer. So today we'll be looking at some of the biggest attacks on computers in the world. Number 1. SQL Slammer / Sapphire. This one caused a havoc in the USA in 2003. It's thought that it caused those who were hit in all about $1 billion. It affected web servers leading to the bank ATMs crashing. It messed with Continental Airlines electronic ticketing and it blocked 27 million people from the internet. Even CTEL's 911 services were affected. As Wired explains, Slammer used an attack on one type of software, but then infected computers would spread the virus throughout the net. The New York Times writes that what was so worrying about the virus was its virulence. It infected 75,000 servers in just 10 minutes. It was stopped eventually by patches and antivirus softwares, but the creator of this virus is still unknown. It also reappeared briefly in 2016 coming from IP addresses in the USA, China, Mexico, Ukraine, Vietnam, Russia, Venezuela, Argentina and Thailand. Number 2. Melisa. Apparently, the villain behind the virus named it after an exotic dancer. It began as an infected Word document posted on a group. If that was open, it would send itself to 50 people on someone's Microsoft Outlook email program. That might not sound too bad, but it created mayhem when emails were being sent at a rate that really messed with big companies and corporations. So much so that in 1999, Microsoft shut down incoming emails. User would get a message such as, "Here is the document you asked for, don't show to anyone else," and there was an attachment with it. According to one source, it cost people, governments and companies in all about $1.2 billion. Now, anyone watching this, you should know that you should never open attachments that look a bit sketchy. But it seems back in those days, people weren't yet so savvy. The creator of that virus was caught and sentenced 10 years of prison, but only served 20 months with a $5,000 fine. Number 3. Anna Kournikova. This virus was the brainchild of a 20-year-old Dutch guy named Jan de Wit. He used the good-looking tennis player Anna Kournikova as a bait. You basically would receive an email saying you had a photo of her. But if you click on the file, it launched a viral visual script. That meant everyone in your address book will be forwarded the same thing. This affected millions of people and overloaded servers all over the world. This gave the young David afraid as he didn't think it would cause so much of a problem. Sources said that by the time he understood what the worm did, he had conferred with his parents and decided to turn himself into the police. He was lucky though and get away with just having 150 hours of community service. The virus was even in an episode of the sitcom Friends. Number 4. Sarkam. This nasty worm also made Microsoft Windows system its target. Again, it spread far and wide as it sent itself to people in the email address book. The people usually but not always saw the following message: "I send you this file in order to have your advice." What was clever about this virus is that it would choose random files from your computer and send them to others. This was particularly bad for government who don't want random files being sent out. It said it affected 12% of computers in North America and 11% of computers in Europe. CNET writes that it cost about $1 billion in damages related to cleaning infected system and lost productivity. It also caused some blushes, but no one has ever been arrested for creating this deadly virus. Number 5. Code Red. Estimates on the damages caused by Code Red ranges in the billions. Web pages that were affected suddenly got the message, "Welcome to worm.com hacked by Chinese." Norian explains the HTTP request exploits unknown buffer overflow vulnerability, which allows the worms to run on your computer. The malicious code is not saved as a file, but is inserted into and then run directly your memory. It is been called one of the most sophisticated attacks ever that almost brought down the internet, infecting Microsoft Internet Information Server, which many websites run on. It was what is called a distribution denial of service attack, which means overwhelming websites with too many traffic, which brings them down. According to the Scientific American, it might not have been China who was the culprit, though. There were many investigations, but ultimately no one knows where it came from. Number 6. Configure. Now we come to the really costly attacks. Configure is said to be the most destructive virus of all, and it cost all around $9 billion. It was first discovered in 2008 and has in its lifetime infected as many as 15 million computers. It affected police departments in the UK as well as the military and really messed with their operations. It affected Windows operating systems and it lasted a long time as it kept getting past patches and antivirus softwares. Number 7. I love you virus. You have to love the name of this nasty virus. A bit like other viruses, it also comes as an email with the words "I love you" in the subject line. Well, that sounds nice. As so many businesses used Outlook, it spread fast. People used to open the attachment, and once they did, everyone else in that address book got the same email. Not only did it spread quickly, but it also deleted many of our files, including every JPEG and MP3 file. It reached 45 millions of people in one day in 2000. It was so big that Ford Motor Company shut down their emails. It was a little like Melisa, but it sent to all of our contacts as well as our deleted personal files. Even the Pentagon, CIA and the British Parliament shut down their emails. The virus was eventually linked with some young programmers in the Philippines, and it's thought that the cost of the damage of this virus was around $15 billion. Number 8. So Big Virus. This happened in 2003 and included a worm and a Trojan horse all in one. You would get an email with any subject line such as "Rewicket screensaver" or "Reapproved", and then there would be an attachment. CNN wrote in 2003 that SoBig.F breaks virus speed records. It was said that at that time to be the fastest growing virus ever. It stopped airlines from operating and slowed down many major corporations and worried the government. It was most affected in the USA. Cybersecurity experts wrote that at its peak, 1 out of 17 emails that we were processing were a copy of the So Big virus. Certainly, we haven't seen the numbers like this before. It was spreading at a very fast rate and the volumes were high. In the USA, 40 million emails were scanned and half of them contained the virus. It is said that it cost a massive $37.1 billion. Number 9. Mydoom. Mydoom virus is considered as the most damaging virus of all time with an estimated $38 billion in damages. In 2004, it infected 1 in every 12 emails. It was so big that even Google was worried. The Google search engine experienced slowness for a short period of time because of the Mydoom virus. Microsoft announced a reward of $250,000. It was offered to anyone who could help to catch the creator of this virus. People said that it was someone in Russia, but it has never been proven. Again, it would get an email and an attachment in it, and as soon as you click and open the attachment, then all of your contacts in your email address will be sent. So you have known about some of the deadliest computer viruses of all time. But do you know about the Facebook artificial intelligence experiment? Click this video to know about the AI experiment of Facebook.